Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Bub's World. You know what time it is. It's CGC unboxing time. Let's see what I got.
You're watching Bub's Comics, Bub.
All right. Well, I guess I'll attempt to do this like everyone else does. I got my CGC unboxing video ready to go. This was a submission that I sent in, I want to say it was about the first week of February 2025. And this is already the first week of August. And it just arrived. So it was a vintage submission. So it takes a little longer. So, and the turnaround times, I immediately believed the turnaround times when I sent them in as being, I just start getting nervous around the first week of August to say, hey, where are my books? And sure enough, somewhere around middle of July or so, it got updated into grading and quality control, and it went from there. And it shipped out the first week of August. So we got them back. And let's see, what does everybody say? Oh, I haven't opened this box. You'll be the first one to see it. Oh, wait, maybe I did. I had my wife go through that. I didn't read any of the tracking. I ignored it all. I had my wife put a bunch of Post-it notes all over the books to make sure that I don't know what the grades are. I can't see the grades on the back either. Don't worry. You know, I'm going to hold it. There, here's the first book. So first off, we have, let's see what that is. Strange Worlds number 8. I'm sure I'm holding it in the right spot. Strange Worlds number 8 from 1952, Avon. I got a 1.5 on it. So pleased with that. So this book does have the old banana bends in it. So you can't see it. You can almost see the curve. I can catch the light right there is like the where it really bends hard. But it's not that bad. But the question is, so this was like their answer to Newton rings. So which is better or which is worse? The Newton rings or the banana bends? And I'd rather the banana bends than the Newton rings, because I think the Newton rings just look terrible. I can't stand the books I have that have that. Drive me crazy. So here is Strange Worlds number 8. A great robot choking out cover. Super cool. Absolutely love it. Got the lady in red in full-on distress in the red dress. We got a guy with a ray gun. He's shooting the robot in the shoulder. And there you go. He's probably mad because she ate the last chicken wing. And this guy really wanted it. There it is. Strange Worlds number 8. Going for a complete CGC run on the registry with this book. With this book, I went from the 18th spot, I believe, to the 14th spot on the CGC registry. So check out the old Strange Worlds run if you get a chance. Very pleased with that one. Another run that I'm going after is Planet Comics. So this is one from 1941. We got a 1.0 on this. There you go. And I won't get into, you know, what did I hope the grades to be. Basically, I'm usually just hoping for blue labels, but every now and then I pick up a book that's like missing a centerfold, so I'll get a green label, or I'll pick up a book that is has some color touch on it, so I get purple label. So I don't get real fussy about the label colors. I don't get real fussy about the actual grades. I just want them slabbed so that I can put them on the wall, look at them, handle them, because a lot of times they're older books that are more brittle. I'm not going to sit there and read these books really, because they're just too old for that. But they make great trading cards, which is to me all a slab is a cool trading card. Turns a comic into a trading card. So there you go, 1.0 from 1941, Planet Comics rivet cover. This is now my earliest complete copy, my earliest rivet cover that's complete. And this is number 12, so got a nice gut punch to the alien there. A little light bondage in the back corner, if you can see that. So very, very cool. Digging that Flint Baker story. Nice. It says it's a John Solardo cover. Oh boy. Next up, we've got a killer book. I first had the t-shirt of this that I bought at a convention, and then I just had to have the book. It was pretty expensive to get a decent copy of this book. I searched and searched forever and finally settled for a well-presenting low-grade copy. And this book is very low-grade, but again, I'll tell you. So it's got a 0.5. It's Science Comics, Captain Science number 4 from 1951. A great Wally Wood, Joe Orlando cover. And I've been after this book for a long time. Couldn't believe I actually scored a copy, and a good looking copy at that, in my opinion. It had some writing on it. It's mostly grease pencil, but I went ahead and left it because I thought it kind of gave it a little bit of character. No problem with that. It says 1951 on it in the corner, which is actually the year that it came out, which is rare. A lot of times it'll be be like a year up or a year down. It's written over here again, 1951 over here. So pretty cool. So this is a 0.5 because it was originally fully spine split, and I reattached it with tape. So the front and back cover were completely split, along with, I think, like multiple wraps completely split. So I repaired this book, and I only repaired it so that I could maintain the blue label. So I did only conservation, no restoration. And also I just wanted it to present really well in the slab. And it's been my experience that if I'm sending in a really low grade book to CGC, they will make it lower grade. I mean, they'll slab it with corners bent over. They'll slab it with things crumpled. There'll be pieces falling off and they're just loose inside the slab. Like, I wouldn't expect them to do very much more. I mean, if the book comes in a certain way, it's going to get slabbed. But I don't think they take any extra care when handling these books to slab them. I think it's just slab it. You know, I don't think that they're handling it carefully, making sure no pieces break, making sure that if there's something that can be turned, like I've seen books where the color, you know, is completely dog-eared. I mean, what would it take to just move that ear back over? I guess that maybe they don't want to damage it, whatever. I'm sure they have plenty of legal reasons why they don't make any effort to make your book look better, but they don't. So when I get a book that I think I can make sure looks good, I'll use a moderate amount of tape. I'll use any approved conservation, not restoration, but any approved conservation that I can to maintain the structure of the book. That way when it gets slabbed, it doesn't come back in pieces, because they will send a book back in pieces. I've had them do it before I learned my lesson. So there you go. Captain Science number 4. So this was the first book that I was going for in this run to add to the registry. So all my other issues of Captain Science, and this isn't my best presenting one. I mean, it's a very good presenting copy, but it's not my highest grade, or so I believe, of the run. So, but I sent it in because it's my favorite cover of the run. And then I'm going to send in the rest, of course. So with this book on the registry hunt, I came in as my only book on the registry, and I started out in 10th place. There's only 10 of us going for a registry run on this book. And so with my very first book, I pulled into the last slot, number 10. Of course, you couldn't eke out, maybe if it was a purple 0.5, you couldn't get any lower, right? But I came in, secured the 10th spot with ease because it was vacant. But an interesting thing about the registry on this book, on this run, is that they are largely, most of them are incomplete runs, as which most of them are. So what's funny is that you'll see people at the top of the registry, they'll have an incomplete run. So I think the top one on this is like 87%, and there's only like 8 books in the run, so that makes sense. He's missing like a book. So I think it's 86%. Like, what would one book be? What, 14% of 8 books? If that's fast math, don't hold me to that. But let's say that that's the case. So he's missing like one book, and the rest are pretty high grade. So that makes sense. But then when you get around to like the fifth person in the registry, like the fifth best set, that will be like the dude has like one book, but the book is like 7.5. And it gets so many registry points that it puts them higher on the list. So I may have a complete 100% set and still only be like fourth on the list. So I'll be interested to see, but so far with this one book, I'm already higher on this registry set than any other set that I'm collecting against. So very cool. I'd like to be in the top 20 or top 10 of all the sets that I compete in. So, and that's just a little free thing that they do at CGC. And it's quite nice. I really like that they have that little added fun little feature for collectors to brag about and play with. So, and gives you something to do with that cert and take pictures of it and put online and stuff. All right, next up, we got the only purple label I received, and I didn't do it, but in all fairness, I must have bought it this way and didn't notice. But now that I have it back, I can see it. But it's Weird Science number 20, another Wally Wood cover. And it says restoration includes small amount of color touch on cover, and it came in at a 3.5. So I don't know what to do. So it's funny because purple labels get dinged pretty hard on the registry. Green labels actually don't. Like you can get a green label if it's high enough grade, and it'll still give you a bunch of points on the registry. This one I did not do anything. I just sent it in the way it is, and it was in good condition when I bought it. I didn't see any need to do anything to it, but I do see it has a little bit of color touch here in the corner. Someone added some like blue. It had like a rub, and they added some blue. And like I said, a small amount of color touch. So it really didn't even need it. Like, they shouldn't have done it, but whatever. It is what it is. Purple label doesn't bother me. The 3.5 I'm happy with. I was expecting a 2.5 or a 3, so I was actually quite impressed with the grade on that. And this is just a classic 50 Girls 50, where this dork has got all these women in tubes. You know, I collect girls in tubes covers, so very, very cool. And he's selecting them to decide which one he's going to date, you know. So it's pretty cool stuff. I really dig this book. This was one of my top Weird Science books I was after, and Wally Wood books that I was after. So to get this was awesome. I picked it up at Collector Summit 2 years ago and finally got around to getting it graded. A little disappointed with the purple, but it doesn't bother me. I just wish I had seen it beforehand, kind of thing. But ultimately, for what I paid for the book, especially, if I saw this, and this is how I ration out in my head. If I saw this book with this label and everything sitting on a wall for $40 to $60 more than what I paid for the book, which would have been basically the price to slab it, I still would have bought it. So in my mind, the purple label must not mean that much to me against the book, because I'd still buy it today just the way it is on someone's wall. I'd pluck it off, and if I got a good deal, I'd buy it. So there you go. Weird Science number 20. Some more great Wally Wood art. And that's it. I fooled you. No more books. All right, so that's it. That's the haul. I guess I'll do like other people do and save this nice presenting fragile box for multiple other hauls. When I just bought something on eBay and said I got a book back from CGC. Not that everybody does that. I'm not saying that, and I may get some comments. People are like, I really do blind the grades for myself, and I really do give it to my wife and my daughter and my kid, and they cover all the grades and they put their Post-it notes on, and I don't care. I don't care. Half the people watching these CGC unboxings are hoping for you to get bad news. So you do whatever you want, right? Whatever makes you happy. But for me, I was watching these grades like a hawk. I checked on the grades like every day to see if they came in, just to see. Like, oh, are they there? Are they there? And then once they were there, of course I looked at them because I was dying to know. You know, I mean, come on. Who sends something off for, 6 months and waits for it to come back and isn't dying to know what the result was? So Anyway, I'm a collector. I'm not dealing these things out. The grades, I don't care. The label colors, it's interesting, but I ultimately don't care. I'm here for the actual books themselves, and I really enjoy that part of it. And I'm very, very pleased with these books. I think that they came out great, and I love this one especially as a book that I've been after for a long time. Well, that's it. I just wanted to share my CGC unboxing with you. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you like it, do all the usual stuff. And remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.
Now subscribe, you egg-sucking pieces of gutter trash. Now.